Welcome to episode 57 of AFC Fylde Still We Rise. We're here on Football Manager 2020 and today's episode is a little bit different. It's going to be split into two parts. Because we're playing so many games at the minute, I just want to take a break and while the games are still fresh in the mind, report on them as they're happening. You were last with us, hopefully, for the 1-0 win against Wigan. That was due to Tom Walker's late free kick in the 84th minute. Since then, we suffered our first defeat of the season in Sky Bet League One. We deservedly went down 3-1 to Accrington. There are some games in which you come away with a win when you didn't deserve it. We got exactly what we deserved in this one. At the Wham Stadium, we suffered early setbacks in 2 goals, Jordan Roberts and then Zanzala in the first 10 minutes. Adam Rooney scored a penalty to reduce the arrears just prior to half-time, but the second half we attacked and didn't come away with anything. Jordan Maguire-Drew hit us on the counter in the dying embers of the game and we suffered our first defeat. Surprisingly, we then won against Wolves in the Carabao Cup third round. I didn't expect this one. We went behind to Pedro Neto before Adam Rooney scored another goal. That's his second in 2 games after he'd gone quite a few without getting on the score sheet. Jovan Malcolm put us ahead. Diego Jota, he equalised to leave it at 2-2. And then on the hour, Malcolm with his second earned us progression into the Carabao Cup fourth round. Now the draw has taken place and we will be once again heading to the Emirates. We will play Arsenal in the Carabao Cup fourth round. We've previously played them in the FA Cup. Don't expect that one to be broadcast because we are going to get a hammering. We then lost against Hull City. This is in League One. Hull have been relegated from the Championship and they were too good for us, really. We took the lead through Paul Gallagher, a great free kick from him, but Reece Burke equalised pretty shortly straight after, just 2 minutes later, and then Leonardo da Silva Lopez on the 87th minute. We held out for quite a long time, but eventually we could do little to stop Hull coming through. Now that actually knocked us off top spot because Hull went above us. It's very tight at the top of Sky Bet League One and they surpassed us, took over our position. We recovered to play Scunthorpe. Actually both Scunthorpe and Crewe, who we played in the next game, are in the lower reaches of the table. And we took advantage of Scunthorpe's woes. No game in Football Manager, I believe, exists in isolation. Scunthorpe were on a bit of a bad run, and as a result, we took advantage, despite going behind to Kevin Van Veen's opener in just the 3rd minute. Ashkan Dejaga, Adoma, and Aaron Lennon with the goals there. Back at home at Mill Farm, we saw off Crewe in a fairly routine win. 2 goals in 3 minutes at the end of the first half. Dejaga and Jan Songo from a corner. Classic move from us. We got the 2 goals in quick succession and that left Crewe with a lot to do in the second half. They attacked but they could not get back in the game. Another clean sheet. I think that's James Montgomery's 7th of the season. In the last game we played Shrewsbury at the Montgomery Waters Meadow in front of just over 1,000 fans. Leasing.com trophy, Northern Group H. We actually drew 0-0 in this game. It wasn't a great affair, to be honest. And as you can see, we were playing quite a rotated side with Rocco Rees in goal, Williams and Taylor at fullback. Nick Horton was back in the team. Devon Green on the wing and Adam Rooney up front. We've sort of transitioned over to Jamie Proctor once again up front, although he is yet to score in the last few games this season. That then resulted in a penalty shootout, which we won, surprisingly. In fact, I will just find that report for you. We do play Shrewsbury again, we should say. Here we are in the Sky Bet League 2 fixture, just upcoming. But as you can see, it went on quite a while, 6 penalties each. So we went to sudden death before Loco missed for Shrewsbury, and George Marsh saw us through 6-5 in a penalty shootout. That has earned us some very vital points in the leasing.com trophy. We've got 5 to our name. That should see us through to the next round. Shrewsbury are the team that can actually overcome us, the team we've just beaten. They play Salford at home. We've got Leeds under 23s at Mill Farm. Not expecting a lot out of that one because Leeds have a similar record to ourselves. But our goal difference is +4. Shrewsbury's is 0. So unless they hammer Salford and we take a bit of a loss against Leeds, we're going to be through. And that is the first time in 2 seasons that we'll have progressed from the group stage. Now that is the update as to what's been happening. As I said, I think it's important to go through that while it's still fresh in the mind. If we go too far, it won't. We'll be left scrambling to explain what happened, and I don't really want that. So our next game that we actually will play will be the FA Cup first round. This hasn't been drawn yet. It will be drawn, I believe, on the 18th of October. So it's a few more days away, in fact. I'm going to play these other fixtures. So we've got Shrewsbury, Lincoln and Northampton in the league, then Arsenal in that Carabao Cup. I mean, that's going to be a big loss again, isn't it? I've got to decide whether to play the reserves or play the first team in that one. Ipswich is a big game. Don't expect much out of that one either. But we should get a win against Bristol Rovers heading into the FA Cup, which actually, now that I look at it, the Bristol Rovers game is going to get postponed, isn't it? It's already been postponed once through international fixtures. So that will be moved, and we're probably going to suffer a loss against Ipswich heading into that game in the FA Cup. Hopefully, it's against a lower league side, and we can pretty much dominate them. But I do want to feature some of the cup games this season. So what's going to happen now is that I'm going to stop talking. The advert for my future plans in Football Manager 21 is going to air when Football Manager 21 does arrive. I'm actually going to try, I'm reticent to admit this, is some actual Football Manager fiction. I don't think that ever goes well. I think I've read a few accounts of really good stories through Football Manager writing, but I'm going to give it a go with St Anne's Football Club, who I used to watch on a weekly basis when I lived in St Anne's. I used to play on the football field just behind me in the Blackpool Recreation Ground. So that is where I'm going to create them as a created team in Football Manager 21, drop them in the Vanarama National League North, and then from there we're going to have some fun and see if we can think of something a little bit outlandish and a little bit entertaining in the written form. So as I've been doing a lot of YouTube for this edition of Football Manager, next time we're going to combine that. I'm going to continue to do work on YouTube, continue to pump out the videos, certainly doing something with the A-League, with A-League FC. They will set me a team to manage. It's not going to be Sydney FC, is it? It's going to be one of the bottom teams. And also I'll have my own save going on YouTube, one that I hope will be from the lower reaches. I mean stage 10, where I'm looking at League 10, stage 10, that sounds right, using one of the created databases of the clubs down there. So I've been doing some work putting that together. But then St Anne's is going to be my written piece for Football Manager 21. There will also be the beta save, beta, sounds more continental, which we feature here on YouTube. Not sure who that'll be. I suspect it'll be a team in the higher leagues, the higher reaches, because that gives me a bit of money to spend. That doesn't often happen on Football Manager. Probably won't be in England. Probably will be a big European team, and see what we can do there. But I'm going to stop talking for a second. There will be the brief advert for the St Anne's FC save, and then we will be back for a recap once again, and then the FA Cup first round game. I'll see you in about 10 seconds. And welcome back. We've played plenty of games and we've kept a fair few clean sheets. So it was Shrewsbury, the penalty shootout, that we won last time. Now, since then, we defeated the same opposition away at Montgomery Waters Meadow, Ashkan Dejaga, with the goal just after the hour mark. We then kept up that streak, 1-0 wins, with Tommy Elphick scoring the decisive goal at Mill Farm against Lincoln. And similarly against Northampton, it was another defender, Jan Songo, on the 51st minute over at the PTS Academy Stadium in front of over 6,500 fans there in Northampton. We played the Carabao Cup fourth round, unfortunately lost against Arsenal. Mohamed El Neni seems to be my nemesis on this version of Football Manager, always does well against the Coasters. He scored a penalty, Saka 2 minutes later, and we never really got back into the game following that. We are therefore eliminated from the Carabao Cup, but we responded with a win at the Ricoh Arena over Sky Bet League One's Coventry City. Coventry are actually fairly well placed in the table, so it was a good win. Adam Rooney with the early goal in a game that saw a fair few yellow cards, as you can see. Unfortunately, we have not come into this latest game on a winning streak. We lost at Portman Road to Ipswich just prior to half-time. Lucas Boy caught us on the counter there when we were looking to grab a goal for ourselves. Couldn't do anything about it in the second half, and as a result, we have lost our last Sky Bet League One game. In terms of the table, we are not doing so badly. As you can see there, our minimum expectation for the Carabao Cup was to reach the second round minimum. We've been knocked out in the fourth round. The Leasing.com trophy, we are still expected to reach the expectation. We are still on course for the second round. And the FA Cup expectation was same again, second round. We play Lewes FC. This is a big one for us because I am actually a part owner in Lewes FC. I have a baseball cap that I wear all the time when I go to watch football. They are a fan-owned team, and every year I spend a bit of money to be a part owner. So I'm delighted that we are heading to the Dripping Pan to contest the first round of the FA Cup. It's on television. It's been moved over to Friday night, and it's a big game. In terms of the league table, however, those results have left us top of the shop. We are there narrowly on goal difference, although we do have 7 goal difference in hand, over Rochdale. So we've conceded the lowest in the league after those clean sheets that you saw, just 12 goals, and we've scored 32. We've lost just 3 games all season, Ipswich, Hull and Accrington. Accrington doing well there to be one of those, considering they are not doing so well in the league table. We've drawn against Luton, Salford and Doncaster, and we've won plenty of games of both at home and away. As you can see there, though, in those wins, only 2 goals conceded. Impressive stuff. So that has left us top of the league. However, as you can see, it is very tight between ourselves, Rochdale, Hull, and I'd include Charlton in that, only 3 points back. In terms of automatic promotion, only 2 places go up straight off. Then you've got the playoff to come. We are, however, 8 points clear of Lincoln in 7th, and that's the gap that I look for. I'm more interested in that because if we're in the playoffs, we've done well. Automatic promotion, not really something I'm expecting this year. We will drop off. We seem to have played quite a lot of teams down the bottom. We've played Salford, Scunthorpe, Bolton and Northampton. And of course, we lost that game to Accrington. So Lincoln is my sort of barometer at the minute. Whoever's in 7th is the team that I look for, because I would like to be in the playoffs. Hull are my tip for promotion. They'll do very well and they will get themselves back up. In terms of the second promotion spot, I'm going to say Ipswich because they beat us. That's the team that I am tipping. So Hull and Ipswich are the teams that I will predict us to go. Will predict to go into the league above the Championship, and we hopefully will contest the playoffs with the likes of Charlton and probably Coventry as well, as they're doing pretty well. In terms of today's fixture against Lewes, it is a brave side that I've picked, although I have just noticed that we've got Horton and Walker the wrong way around. Walker is just back from injury, so he probably won't play the full game. I should also tell you that Aaron Lennon has announced his retirement. Both him and Andy Taylor have eyed their retirement. So at the end of the season, on Wednesday the 8th of June, both Aaron Lennon and Andy Taylor will retire. That's in addition, of course, to the retirement date set by Aaron Adoma? Where's he gone? Albert Odoma, sorry. This is what's happened because I've included a lot of our young players in the squad at the moment. Let's find him. He is still planning on retiring, as you can see, on the 7th of June. So just the day before. The day before he will be due to go. So having said that, we have a couple of players. We've taken Hal Robson-Kanu on trial at the minute. He's without a club, so we're giving him a bit of a go. Jan Songo suspended, and Ashkan Dajaga has a pulled calf. Not sure about Hal Robson-Kanu just yet. He's been without club since being released by West Brom last season. Sorry, at the start of this season, as they got into the Premiership. Did play 14 games last year in the Championship, and prior to that was on loan at Slavia Prague. With our strikers not really firing at the minute, he is somebody that we perhaps need to look at. As you can see on our bench, we've got plenty of young players. Rocco Reese is in goal, as is our normal cup goalkeeper. Then we've also got the likes of Josh Newfill, Morgan Brett and Sheldon Green, who have all come onto the bench. Squad numbers will need to be given to 2 players. Let's see what they are. So 25-26 seems pretty simple. And away we go to the brilliantly named Dripping Pan. Any football stadium that's got a bit of a weird name, I do quite enjoy. So the likes of Gander Green Lane and the Dripping Pan, they certainly make it into my favourite stadiums based on their name alone. You always want to play somewhere interesting. I mean, how boring is it to be, North Road Stadium? You don't want that sort of thing, do you? And hopefully you also enjoyed seeing the St Anne's FC little teaser to come for Football Manager 21. And we're in the tunnel here with Tom Wilding from the Kirkham Football Paper, and I'm not really interested in talking about the ins and outs of my team. Yeah, let's be assertive and tell him basically to do one. Lewes play in red and black stripes. They were in as close to the National League North, I seem to remember, but got relegated. So they will be on the way back up. Sorry, National League South. They're from the south, I should say. Lewes, they are sort of south coast-ish, from what I remember. But yeah, not somewhere that I've managed to get to yet, although I have been an owner in Lewes for, I think, 4 seasons now. do plan on visiting the Dripping Pan one day. Similarly, A-League FC, the website that I write for, we are sponsoring a player from Ashford Women's this year, and I've not had a chance to get over there yet, but eventually one of us will. Good early start by Fylde, 4 shots to 1. I do expect progression here, to be honest, to the next round. That would be pretty good and would meet our minimum expectation, so I don't have to worry about anything else in terms of the cup. Devon Green now. It needs to go out to the wide there. Tom Walker doing the business. And it's there. Albert Odoma with the opening goal. His 5th of the season, assisted by George Marsh, just in the centre there. Marsh is playing as a defensive midfielder, I think, today. Although he popped up there on the right, so I should probably check that. I may have put him into a position that he isn't entirely familiar with. As we see a couple of replays and just making sure that he's onside. He is back post beating Baldock. Yeah, I have put him. Sorry, right back is where Marsh is today, because Luke Burke is suspended and Tyrone Williams not fit. Is Luke Burke suspended? He might be unfit as well. He needs a bit of a rest. As you can see, Neil Byrne has returned to the side. Neil has been in the reserves all season, not really part of the first team plans. He's available on a free transfer if anybody wants to sign him, but so far has clung on to a position in the under-23s, where he pretty much captains the side every week. And we build out from the back with Devon Green. Not hit the heights unexpected this season as Devon, but that's a great pass over to Odoma. Not able to replicate his success in front of goal. He's picked up a booking actually 2 minutes before his goal. I didn't notice that. But Lewes also picking up the bookings now. They've got 3 to their name. Walker with the corner. It's cracks against the woodwork. From the post. Just one clear-cut chance so far. This is a pretty comfortable game, but obviously you do want to make sure you get an additional goal just to ensure that they would go through. And there's a second yellow for Mila. Now, not what you want to see, really. I think the referee has been a bit pedantic there, as we encourage the players to give them a boost. I'm going to give Jamie Proctor until the hour, and then he's coming off for young Sheldon Green, who I would like to get a few minutes under his belt. Proctor seems to be an issue this season. He just doesn't seem to be scoring. Not entirely impressed with him. Not sure he's going to survive another season at Mill Farm. Of course, in real life, he was with Fylde last season on loan to replace Danny Rowe. But there, Whitmore just wide. And then went back to Rotherham, where in the game we signed him. So Proctor is coming off for Sheldon Green. I do want to give Newthville and Bruh a quick run out. We may bring Newville on later. Position does Bruh play? He's a striker as well. Helpful. They're probably on the wings, to be honest. Around the 75th minute, we'll just give Devon Green and Odoma a bit more of a run out. This is all looking decidedly comfortable in front of the TV cameras. So we've obviously got the BBC guys or BT Sport. And there is Albert Odoma's second goal. In fact, we're going to celebrate that by substituting him. On comes... I'm going to put Bruh on. These are young players that were picked up at the start of last season, I think. We'll put him as a winger on attack. And they've sort of come through the ranks, playing for our under-23 side for the majority. They've also, I think, both have been out on loan last season and got some minutes under their belt, but nobody picked them up this year. I think that says more about them than anybody else. So 2 goals in front now, and we are coasting, to use a pun, into the next round. Just going to make that other change. Devon Green coming off for Newfville. Should have probably checked what foot they use, but no, they're just going straight on. As we tick over 75 minutes. So it has been pretty much a whistle-stop tour over the last episode of all the games that we've played. We are making a lot of progress ready to get towards the end of the season. We want to get to the business end. So we are in the game in January, as far as I'm aware. So we've sort of raced through the first half of the season, and we've got the second half to come. Lots of big games, lots of big opponents, and we'll do well to hold on to our playoff position, really. Obviously, at the moment, we're in automatic promotion spot, but I don't expect that to last much longer due to the fact that it is quite tight up at the top. And there we have it. Man of the match, George Marsh, including his assist. So yeah, Spenny the Penny suggests that we praise the players for their performance, and that is exactly what we're going to do. A big game against Lewes FC. Lewes, I should say as well, are very much equality FC. They pay the exact same for their women's team as their male team. One of the really founding clubs in terms of that movement. And we've seen such things as the New Zealand national team take up that kind of strategy as well. And in fact, women's football at the minute really getting a boost. Lots of new signings. Manchester United signing the likes of Kristen Press over the last week. Alex Morgan linked with Tottenham. That may, by the time you hear this, have actually happened already, which is a great thing. And really gives the women's game a bit more credibility over here and indeed abroad. Lots of Australians as well rocked up at Arsenal, I've noticed. Really interesting, actually, over the coming year. One of the things that I'm always interested in is seeing the progress of the women's game in terms of whether they make it into Football Manager. There are a few different mods out there, a few different databases that I think are really good, but I'd love to see the women make their way into the game. A long time, Miles Jacobson has been saying that he'll only really do it once it's of a financially viable nature. So it'll be certainly interesting over the next few years to see whether that sort of comes to fruition, because they seem to get a lot of television coverage now. There seems to be a lot of viewers, a lot of interest in the women's game. You still get the odd idiot on social media, usually a white middle-aged man who is clearly threatened by women doing well in terms of football. But there you go. Alex Scott, Eni Aluko, really astute and knowledgeable pundits. I think they're amongst the best out there at the minute. So got a lot of. I'm really proud of the development of the women's game, and to be part of Lewes FC, who are doing so much in terms of that as well, is certainly a great thing. But here we are. We have defeated the Lewes men's team at the Dripping Pan, and we have made it into the second round, the draw for which is in the coming weeks. Now, in terms of our next episode, this was planned to be Portsmouth, as that's quite a big one. So that will be there. Sorry, did I say we're in January? We're in November. Christ. It's been such a sort of... we've played so many games in quick succession off camera that I do lose my bearings every now and again. But we will play Portsmouth in our next game. Following that, I noted down the likes of Hull and Charlton. So then we go into December, the end of December. Charlton are at the start of February. So we'll play through the entirety of January. And then I think we'll probably see where we're up to. I definitely want to play Oxford on YouTube. So it just depends on where we're up to after that. I do note that Ipswich we play. I didn't know. That seems to be too big a gap. we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yes, the next game will be Portsmouth back at Mill Farm, and then we're going to follow that up by playing a lot of games off camera ready for Charlton in February. Thank you for joining me again. Apologies, it's been quite a long episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.